I'ma keep it a bean. Stick to the script every scene. These from last year, but they clean. Say to say I'ma take something else, but it's winning team. Charlie Sheen, fam gang the regime. I'm from Potty Green. This been overdue forever. Asked me when it was dropping, said never. Should've made you cut the feather, but I designed it Freemason Margiela.
What's good, Shellitronnn here, the most woke, no joking. I'm back at it again for a brand new video, and in today's episode, we're gonna be going over a guy here who is going to be one of the most sought after edge guys in the draft. He's not really a top 3 edge rusher in the game right now, not a top 3 edge prospect, but after those top, those guys who everyone wants, the guys who are going to be gone in the first 5-6 picks of the draft, this guy is the next man up, and I think that he has the potential to immediately have an impact on any team he goes to. He's so versatile, he's fast, he's strong, maybe kind of a slight body for defensive end, but I don't think that's going to be a problem for him at the next level at the NFL. I'm talking about a guy named Brian Burns, an edge rusher out of Florida State. He's 6'5". He played at 235 this year, but I think at the combine, he weighed in at 249, 250-ish. So that's still not the biggest size for an edge rusher, for a guy with his hand in the dirt. And before I get into his skill set, let me get into his resume. Throw up his stats here for me one time for the one time. This man is unbelievable. That's the best way of putting it. He's unbelievable. His freshman year at Florida State, he had 9.5 tackles for a loss, 8.5 sacks, and a fumble forced. In his sophomore year, he had 13.5 tackles for a loss. He had 4.5 sacks. He had 3 forced fumbles and 1 fumble recovered. His junior year was actually amazing. 52 total tackles. In his junior year this past season, the man went off 15.5 tackles for a loss. What was it? 10 sacks, 3 passes defended, 3 forced fumbles, 1 recovered, and also in 2017 he had 4 passes defended. The sacks speak for themselves. The man can get to the ball. I'll get to that in a second. I'll talk about his ability to rush the quarterback, to cause havoc, to make offensive linemen look ridiculous. But the biggest thing that sets Brian Burns apart from other edge rushers who are really great at getting to the quarterback, with their power, their speed, Brian Burns is such a fast guy and is so cerebral. He can play, with his hand in the dirt, or he can play standing up as a linebacker. And there's sometimes you have a guy who can, play his hand in the dirt in a 3-point stance, or play as a stand-up linebacker. And for the most part, even though they can play in 2 different positions, they're going to be doing the same things from both positions. They're going to be rushing the quarterback. They might go out and defend the flat. They're playing outside linebacker. They might just set a hard edge at linebacker sometimes, but they're not really doing too much. Brian Burns is so fast, he's athletic, he's smart, and actually has some pretty decent ball hawking abilities for defensive end that he can actually play in coverage. I'm talking about actual coverage. Brian Burns, for that reason alone, should be a very high prospect for the team because it'll be so great to have another guy at the second level who can be a coverage guy. We have guys who can, rush the quarterback. They can play some guys in the slot, but other than Shaq Thompson, they're mostly Jags and pass rushers. This guy, Brian Burns, can play some really good coverage, especially in zone. I'm not really sure how he would match up in man. I probably wouldn't do that too much, but I think he'd do really well out there in space, but I'd actually trust him and not be too worried about what he's going to be doing out there. Brian Burns has elite skill, and I haven't even started talking about what he can do when he's going after the quarterback. This man is a monster. He's a problem. He's a monster. Like I said, he's only 250 pounds, 6'4". He's kind of slightly built, not really the biggest kind of frame, but if Brian's on the field, he makes sure his presence is felt. He's not going to bull rush you through, but he's going to be faster than you. He is going to make you try to look one way and then go the other. He has a ton of moves and counters he can go to. He's not just going to hit you with a swim move or like a quick little rip or a jump cut kind of thing. He can do everything, and it's not even always his initial move he makes. He has counters for the offensive linemen's counters. He's so fast, he's so cerebral, and the way he processes blocking schemes, he's always aware of what's going on in the backfield. He's always looking past the block. When he's engaging a blocker, he's not looking at a guy's shoulder pads or his chest. He's looking in the backfield at all times. He's always aware of what's going on, and he has a high motor every single play. He is going to give you his effort every single down. He's a guy who can stay on the field for 3 downs every single possession. He can bring culture-changing impact to the defense on day 1. Right now I'm on a site that shows all the different skill sets that a lot of scouts look for in a defensive edge rusher. I'm going to go down this checklist and grade every single skill set as it pertains to Brian Burns. First step quickness, elite. In fact, he has his second step quickness, his third step. If he gets to a 4th step, he's past you already. If Brian Burns takes 4 steps, he's past you already. Hand technique and length, great. Pass rush counters, elite. Flexibility and bend, one of the best in this draft. Run defending, the man sets a hard edge. He does not get caught up. He doesn't allow himself to get pushed out of a play. And if he is ever caught out of position a little bit, he is always able to recover and get back there and make a tackle. Competitive toughness, off the charts. Tackling, Come on now. Lateral mobility. Come on, hold up. Lateral mobility, speed, stand-up ability. Did I put up his combine numbers? Just let me show the man's combine numbers. 40-yard dash, 4.53. Speaks for itself. Vertical, 3.6. Broad jump, 129. 3-cone drill, 7.01. 4.53 on the 40. And a 36-inch vertical at 6'5", 240. This kid, Brian Burns, can do it all, and he's actually the perfect fit for this Carolina defense, especially with the team going from a 4-3 base to, you know, a more multiple look where we're going to be throwing in 3-4 and 4-3. Having a guy like Brian Burns to put in tandem with another guy and Bruce Irvin, who we just picked up a few weeks ago, it's a perfect storm. It's a perfect storm because both these guys can play standing up and both guys can play with their hand in the dirt. So the offensive line and the running back, sometimes if he's going to be blocking on passing downs, has to always be aware of which one is standing up, which one has his hand in the dirt, and it's not exactly set in stone whether the guy who's standing up playing linebacker is going to go in the zone. Both the guys can go out into a flat from the defensive end position. And like I've said 18 times already in this video, Brian Burns is basically perfect for our team. That said, I don't really see him falling to 16. This man, Brian Burns, is a top 10 pick. I've seen a couple mocks. I have seen a couple mocks where Brian Burns does fall to 16. I'm not 100% sure. I don't see it happening. Brian Burns is too good of a prospect. And if you watch my latest mock draft I did, I said I wanted to get Jonah Williams in the first round because, you know, we already have Bruce Irvin. I thought that, you know, protecting Cam should be a high priority. Look, if Brian Burns is available at number 16, you pick him. He's the only edge rusher that I think has the possibility of maybe being there at 16 that I would pick up over an elite offensive lineman, either at guard or tackle, to protect Cam. Look, we do not want to see Cam get injured again, and I think we can afford to go second round with edge rusher with the Bruce Irvin pickup. But with Brian Burns right here as a defensive end, a guy who has that kind of elite talent, who, you know, might really just be good enough to maybe pick up where Julius Peppers left off. You never know. But what are your thoughts? Do you like Brian Burns? Do you think Brian Burns will be available at 16 realistically? Just look at his skill set. He is, oh man, I don't know. I hope so, but it's a tough sell. That's a really tough sell. Would you pick up Brian Burns over an O lineman in the first round? How important is the edge rushing? Is it more important than getting more protection for Cam? Let me know all that in the comments below. And you already know to do that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.